Hello, good day, my glorious families. We welcome you to today's
Chapter of the day.
So today's chapter is continuation, and we are on a book of Nehemiah chapter 6. If you are new here, we say welcome. So in the previous chapter, Nehemiah, we had some jot down about Nehemiah, how
some hiccups in the building process,
how he helped the poor people in the city, and he lived by example. He was able to, what he was supposed to collect, or what it was meant for him as a leader, he let go of them just for the benefit of the poor, so that the poor will be able to have a love with them. And that is what is expected of leaders. So leaders that live by example and that can make sacrifices. We are continuing into chapter 6, further opposition to the rebuilding. So which means there was still opposition. Despite that, they lost the battle and they were able to build the opposing agents, the spirit of Sanballat and Tobiah. They will not
and another person.
Yeah, they are all together. So let's just give them the name, the spirits of Sanballat and Tobiah. So they never gave up. They are still pestering them. When word came to Sanballat, Tobiah, Geshem the Arab, and the rest of our enemies, that I had rebuilt the wall and not a gap was left in it, though up to that time I had not set the doors in the gates, Sanballat the Geshem sent me this message: come, let us meet together in one of the villages on the plain of Ono. But they were scheming to harm me. The question is, how did Nehemiah know they were scheming to harm him? And another thing is that we should be careful when someone had already shown you their color. I mean, when people have shown you who they really are. Once they have shown you where they stand, like they are against you, then you gotta be careful. Don't try to make excuses for them. You have to now deal with them with carefulness, with wisdom, and with prayers, because they could be scheming against you. So that is what we are learning from that part. So let's continue. He said, but they were scheming to harm me, so I sent messengers to them with this reply: I am carrying on a great project and cannot go down. Why should the work stop? Why I leave it and go down to you? 4 times they sent me the same message, and each time I gave them the same answer. Then, verse 5, the 5th time, Sanballat sent his aide to me with the same message. Are you serious? The 5th time. And in his hand was an unsealed letter in which was written. Listen to what was written in the letter. It is reported among the nations, and Geshem says it is true that you and the Jews are plotting to revolt, and therefore you are building the wall. Okay, the question is, the wall broke down and they are rebuilding it. How is it a problem to a human being?
They just cuckoo caca.
That you, building the wall. Moreover, according to this report, you are about to become their king. Really? And I've even appointed prophets to make this proclamation about you in Jerusalem. There is a king in Judah. Now this report will get back to the king. So come, let us meet together. Really? Wow. Look at how he said, oh my goodness. So now it's about the fact that you are rebuilding the wall is because you're trying to become the king, because you're trying to show how mighty you are. Wow. I sent him this reply. Now Nehemiah replied, nothing like what you're saying is happening. You are just making it up out of your head. Oh my goodness. Verse 9, they were all trying to frighten us, thinking their hands will get too weak for the work, and it will not be completed. But I prayed, now strengthen my hands. One day I went to the house of Shemaiah, son of Deliah, the son of Mehetabel, who was shot in at his home.
Not confined. Mine is different, but confined is the word people know.
He said, let us meet in the house of God, inside the temple, and let us close the temple doors, because men are coming to kill you. By night they are coming to kill you. But I said, should a man like me run away? or should someone like me go into the temple to save his life? I will not go. I realized that God had not sent him, but he had prophesied against me. My goodness, because Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. Did you see how much and how long and how far the enemy can go? The enemies of progress.
I can see all of the false prophets resurfacing. Yeah, they're coming back.
Because Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. He had been hired to intimidate me so that I would commit a sin by doing this, and then they will give me a bad name to discredit me. Of course, because he was the one who went to gather everyone to come and build the wall, and then he will now, when there is problem, he will now go into hiding. He will go into hideouts, and then everyone will be stranded because he was supposed to be the one, trying to make sure everyone is safe. How can a leader go into hiding and lock up himself somewhere? Remember Tobiah and Sanballat, my God, because of what they have done. Remember also the prophet Noadiah, and how she and the rest of the prophets have been trying to intimidate me. So the wall was completed on the 25th of Elul in 52 days. Opposition to the completed wall. So there were still opposition to the completed wall. Verse 16. When all our enemies heard about this, all the surrounding nations were afraid and lost their self-confidence because they realized that this work had been done with the help of our God. Also in those days, the nobles of Judah were sending many letters to Tobiah, and replies from Tobiah kept coming to them. For many in Judah were under oath to him, since he was son-in-law to Shechaniah, son of Hera, and his son Jehohanan had married the daughter of Meshulam, son of Berechiah. Moreover, they kept reporting to me his good deeds and then telling him what I said. And Tobiah sent letters to intimidate me. Now, Favor, do you have anything to say? Because I've made my contributions, but I still have one more contribution to make.
Okay, so they are very consistent. They absolutely love messing with the things of God, and they do not like the fact that the wall of Jerusalem is being rebuilt. So
yeah, and then we need what's it called? Spirit of discernment.
We have to make sure that we don't fall for all of their lies.
Because there is always an evil scheme. And then I was just about to ask that, how did you know that who was that one that sent for him?
The prophetess.
Yeah, the prophet. Yeah, the prophet in verse 14. He said also the prophet Noadiah.
It was actually a prophetess.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
The prophetess Noadiah, and how she and the rest of the prophets have been trying to intimidate him. So the wall. Okay, that's verse 15. So now this prophetess, how did you know that the vision the prophetess gave was fake? Anyway, one of the reasons he would have known is because God sent him there. Like, God approved of his going. So that's another thing. Whose voice are you listening to? Yeah. Because he knows that God approved him to go there. So if God had approved him to go there, the same God will not tell him to go and hide. And then the wall had even been built already. They went through a lot, holding on the weapon by one hand and using one hand to be doing the wall. Throughout the night, they did not sleep. They went through a lot of stress. They went through a lot of trauma, emotional trauma. They went through a lot of issues. And God preserved them. So after fighting all those battles and had won, then the prophet is coming to tell them, you have to, some people are coming to kill you. It's better you go into hiding or into hideout. So it is so, so how will I put it? The information contradict themselves. So sometimes when God speaks to us and we still have to listen to another person saying something different, in that case we need to go and pray, and to awaken our spiritual man, like to tap ourselves. We need to tell ourselves, like, think twice. This cannot be true, because God is not a confusionist. He won't tell you this now and tell you something else, something practically different. So it's better for us to know who we are listening to. Who are you listening to? Whose voice are you honoring? Because when God speaks and a man speaks, we should be able to know which one is true, which one is right. May God help us in Jesus' name. We will not fall in the hands of those evil fake prophets, because they are everywhere and they are confusing people, misleading people, and that can be very destructive. So should we say thank you for watching?
I think we're supposed to.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. Bye.
We are the glorious generation.